Joining us to talk about this and lots of the financial implications of this, the business implications, but also on the official cash rate, because that sort of got lost all yesterday, and the Reserve Bank announcement from Adrian Orr, is our resident business commentator, business, politics and financial, really, and an expert pretty much in all of those things, Craig Stobo, and he joins us now. Craig, what did you think? What was your immediate reaction yesterday when you heard that? Yeah.
Media TV3. Well, I think empathy with staff. No one likes to hear their jobs going through consultation phase for a few weeks. A final decision in April and probably closure in June, but of course that's not clear but probable. But there are some signs on the wall, though, weren't there, when the project at 7 o'clock was canned, and then Sarah Bristow, I think it is, resigned a few weeks ago. So there's some sort of signs that things are in trouble. But just on the financials, quite clearly, ad revenues were declining. And don't forget, Warner Brothers Discovery bought this business from MediaWorks in September 2020, and they would have benefited a little bit from the sugar rush of government cash that flowed to media businesses. But I think recessionary conditions, the business model, which is the eyeballs and the earlobes, are moving elsewhere from centralised kind of monopolistic views of the world to finding other avenues for information. And so that ad revenue was given as a reason for them to close. You can't keep continuing a loss-making business without a sign of recovery. So turn your mind then to where do the advertisers go? And there's really only one other network, and that's TV NZ. I had a look at their annual report this morning, and last year they had revenues of $328 million, but expenses that were just underneath that. So their earnings were only $14 million, and the outlook was for a loss this coming June year. Very poor margins, very poor return on equity, no dividend. As a taxpayer invested in this business, it's not a very successful business. And the report sort of went through how they're going to meet the challenges of their business model, and they quite clearly state in the annual report that their current technology is holding them back. We need to build a bigger, more powerful cloud-based engine that will replace our current technology. They recognise that eyeballs are moving to streaming away from broadcasting. And so they're looking to appoint a master systems integrator, whatever that is, to implement and deliver a new technology platform. Now, I don't know whether that's been taken up. I suspect cash is an issue. They've suffered the same revenue issues that TV3 suffered. I just now turn my mind to, if you're an owner of TVNZ, do you want to build what looks like a world-class, powerful cloud-based engine and a broadcaster that's competing with disaggregated, decentralised news gathering by citizens of New Zealand? I think that'd be a pretty tough decision for the minister to agree to. And the business is not making a return on its capital. So, critical decision for the owners of this business. Do they pour money into a business that really is in a business model is struggling? I think that's the real question for our new coalition government. Do they want to own a broadcaster in these parts with these types of programming? So I think that's the question from the owner. Where do the advertisers go? Do they want to go to TVNZ? Do they try and find their market in other disaggregated services that are streaming or paper, newspaper, digital-based rather than TV? Don't know yet. We'll find out.
Yeah. Why you make a good point about advertising revenue dropping off. Warner Discovery said it too. It just sort of fell off a cliff, they said. They also said that being propped up by another sort of public interest journalism fund wouldn't have made any difference. There was still no way that particular model was going to work for them. Why did they buy it in the first place, do you think, Craig?
I don't know why, other than pure commercials, that the government kind of locked the nation down, made it very difficult to operate when advertisers were struggling with revenues at the same time. So the government said, OK, we'll step in and try and support the industry in the sense of retaining, journalism skills. But that just delayed the real decision, didn't it? That's the sugar rush comment. We take this and we should be able to buy time to make some hard decisions. Did they go fast enough? Well, clearly in the eyes of executives of Discovery Warner, they didn't. And so you have, well, I don't know exact number, but it's maybe, as they say in the press release, up to 300 jobs looking at being disestablished. And look, if they are good journalists, good camera operators, they'll find jobs easily here or overseas. I don't know, but it's a lot of supply of technical people into market that's shrinking a bit in the particular broadcast field that they're in.
Yeah, no, I mean, there might be some opportunities here, though, actually, ironically, as a consequence, particularly for the technical people. They bought, I'm just looking at this now, they bought TV3 for, well, Newshub TV3 for $20 million in December 2020. Now, right. December 2020, I'm just thinking we were in lockdown then, weren't we, all effectively? Correct. So?
Yep.
And so the Public Interest in Journalism Fund had been declared, so that it was already underway. And then there was all that COVID advertising too, Craig, which presumably the government paid for. So, yeah. They might have made their money back, actually, pretty quickly, just on the basis of government largesse there.
Yeah, well, that's now in the process of finishing. So all those news organisations face this cash deficit that's not around because the government's not in the same position as it was in 2020, 2021. So they've got to replace it with commercial revenue, and we're a very weak economy. Advertisers are very careful of where they put their money, want the biggest bang for their bucks. So for them, it's around target reach. Where can they find their target customers, and are they going to go to TV1 or are they going to go somewhere else? So it'll be interesting.
What we don't know is whether what their new product will look like. I was just positing this morning, Craig, that you've got rid of your news and current affairs, but you've got two options, it seemed to me. You'd either do a stripped down one, which just sort of here's a sort of Sky News type operation. The one I'm talking about that they do on Sky News sometime for New Zealand. Or alternatively, you just source all your external programs and you just use TV3 as a broadcasting base. And then you could still attract advertisers. I presume there's still an advertising model, which leads me to the third thought, Craig, and I'd be interested in your thoughts. Is there a risk that TV3 disappears entirely?
You can't say that's not under consideration. I'm sure the executives have been thinking about what may be the best solution at the end. Don't forget that they can still, I'm not quite sure of the preconditions, but they still may be able to apply for New Zealand on air funding for New Zealand content. So that could add to content from other parts of the world that would be delivered through their TV3 network, which will still appeal to lots of people. So the advertisers could still come. It's just what that audience looks like. Who will be watching those programs, and are they the audience that those advertisers want?
I'm going to pose another question to you. You're David Seymour. You're the Minister in charge of state-owned enterprise and Crown-owned enterprises. Boy, that talk about the fox in the hen house. Yesterday's announcements come through. He wasn't, he gave the sort of, I'm very sorry you're dead, but line yesterday. You're a director, you're an experienced director as well, Craig. You've run a lot of businesses with a lot more turnover than TV3. What decision do you make if you're David Seymour? What advice do you give to the government, do you think?
Well, David made a very important comment that I haven't heard anybody pick up so far, and that is, was there a role that TVNZ played by way of its ownership structure in the demise of TV3? And what he then said was, Now, I can't recall the verb he used, but the kind of question was, should TVNZ be paying a dividend? And of course, the last 2 years, TVNZ has not paid a dividend. But if I'm a director on that board, I'm thinking about solvency. I'm thinking, where do I get support from to make sure the business operates effectively? Have I got a strong enough balance sheet? Can I borrow when I need to? Will the shareholders support me if I want to roll out a pretty, what seems to be a game-changing technology platform upgrade? Will my shareholders support me? And from what David's saying, he's going to question the rationale for that, I would have thought. And so he should, because it's taxpayers' money. And if the eyeballs continue to move elsewhere, to local decentralised communities using global platforms, why fight that? Why would you fight that? Why wouldn't you, try and beat them, join them?